Not today!
For most of this year, Helldivers 2 has had a stranglehold on my attention. Whenever I'm not busy, I'm defending democracy across harsh alien terrain, fighting bugs and bots alike in the name of Super Earth. I've averaged about 40 hours of Helldivers a month since its launch in February. Despite controversies both big and small surrounding the game, my interest hasn't waned whatsoever. When I sit and think about why Helldivers draws me in, I can think of any number of reasons. Its core gameplay loop is incredibly satisfying. Guns are fun to shoot, grenades are fun to throw, stratagems are fun to call in. Those last-second escapes on Pelican 1 still get my heart racing nearly 5 months in. For me, the formula works, but that isn't what keeps me hooked. Plenty of games have great gameplay loops, plenty of games have satisfying mechanics, plenty of games have heart-racing action sequences. So I continue to ask, what is it that makes Helldivers 2 different? How did Helldivers 2 succeed as a live service game in a field full of them? What does it have that its competitors lack? The answer is right up on the front page of Arrowhead's site. Go ahead and go there. I'll wait. When you load it up, you'll be greeted by the following quote: "A game for everyone is a game for no one." Right now you might be thinking that this statement doesn't really mean anything, but it does, especially in the context of developing a live service game. In a post-Fortnite world, live service games are often trying to be something for everyone, with modes that mimic some of the most popular games of our era. Fortnite itself has a mode that resembles Minecraft and one that resembles Rock Band and is consequently developed by the same people that made Rock Band. But Helldivers isn't trying to be something that everyone can enjoy. Arrowhead showed restraint in their design, crafting something that appeals specifically to fans of non-competitive PvE or player versus environment shooters. Cooperation is at the core of Helldivers' design. It's everywhere you look. When you start the game and are on your Super Destroyer, you'll see other ships in orbit over the planet you're plotting to land on. Those destroyers are an approximate representation of other players joining you on the surface. As you choose your mission at the war table, you'll be fed statistics on how many of your fellow Helldivers are on that same planet, and you'll be greeted by icons showing which of your compatriots are in need of help. Once you're in a mission, you'll see those same super destroyers firing stratagems off over the horizon. I doubt they're tied in any way to actual player activity, but it's a nice reminder that other people are out there working on missions not too dissimilar from your own. On the surface, you have to collect samples and medals and complete objectives. It's a pretty simple but extremely effective gameplay setup. The resources you collect in missions are used to unlock better stratagems, and the medals I mentioned earlier can be used to buy better main weapons and sidearms and grenades. Each mission nets you experience, but experience alone doesn't grant you a superior loadout, and that helps to make Helldivers 2 extremely approachable. In other games, the community's skill level raises over time, making it difficult for new players to find their footing. But in Helldivers, even new players can help veterans out on missions well beyond what they'd be able to do solo, and obviously the same is true in reverse. I can't tell you how many times someone with better gear than me has called in a mech suit for me to use, or offered me a support weapon that's better suited to the task at hand. Similarly, I can't tell you how many times I've done the same for others. I think the main reason behind this is the fact that Arrowhead engineered the mission reward structure in the game in such a way that there isn't any incentive for doing better than your teammates. Rewards are shared among the entire squad, regardless of who picked them up. If across all 4 players you collected 38 samples, each player will get all 38 of those samples. The same is true for medals and super credits as well as experience. Whether you kill 1 enemy or 1,000, you'll all net the same reward, meaning there's no incentive to one-up your teammates, and at least in my experience, no penalty for not doing so well, which goes a long way toward keeping me motivated to continue playing. Even if I have a run of bad missions or if I'm off my game, I know that I can still contribute to my squad completing their objective. Even entire mission failures can help the community progress through major orders. That's right, I haven't even talked about major orders yet. Every few days, the Game Master, a shadowy figure named Joel who may or may not exist, will issue major orders to the community. These can range from killing billions of enemies to overtaking enemy encampments to more insidious missions like destroying an entire planet. Each Helldiver across the global community on both PC and PS5 chips away at these objectives. We don't always win, but the narrative shifts based on our performance against these targets, and because the story of the Second Galactic War is delivered exclusively through these major orders, it isn't really daunting to come back from a long time away. You might wonder why Meridia is now a black hole on the edge of space, but there's nothing preventing you from following new orders. It doesn't even feel like you need to be caught up on what you've missed. To further drive home the point that Helldivers win as a team, any objective, even personal orders, can be completed by any member of your squad. If you're tasked with killing 100 bots with an anti-material rifle, you don't need to actually score those kills yourself. As long as someone with you does, you'll get credit. When I earned my platinum trophy, it was through the help of 2 of my friends. We threw as many explosive stratagems into the fray as we could and watched as we all earned that trophy together. There's something indescribable about what shared goals can do for you in a game like this. I used to think that even cooperative games needed some kind of competitive element to keep players engaged, but Arrowhead has proven the opposite to be true. The complete absence of these elements makes it easier to stick with the game and to never feel like you're dragging your teammates down simply because you haven't yet reached their skill level. The sense that you're never in this alone unless you choose to be is a great feeling. Taken individually, each of these components don't seem like much, but when viewed holistically, it paints a picture of masterful game design. At its core, Helldivers 2 is about much more than shooting aliens to protect a group of space fascists. It's about camaraderie. It's about looking out for your fellow Helldiver. It's a game about trust and sacrifice. But more than anything else, it's a game about community. Helldivers' community is its greatest strength. Together, we've changed the course of the game's story at Malevelon Creek. We've slain billions of enemies in the name of managed democracy. We detonated Meridia and opened a black hole that nothing insidious will travel through. And we inadvertently raised money for real-world children in need of help. I've met so many friendly people deep in the trenches, and I'm sure I'll continue to meet so many more. I've seen folks that would never pick up a shooter become enthralled by Helldivers, and it's my firm belief that it's because of how well this game brings its players together and unites them in pursuit of common goals. I haven't experienced a feeling like this in a game since Phantasy Star Online launched on the Dreamcast in 2000. That game left an indelible mark on my gaming experience, and I'm confident that Helldivers 2 will as well. It may not be a game for everyone, but that's exactly who I recommend it to.